The Athletic have come out with a huge transfer update regarding Mikel Arteta giving the green light to sign Rodrigo as well as Ederson's future at Manchester City. Joao Pedro is wanted by Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester United, and Rayan Cherki has up to 10 clubs after him. There is so much to get into. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you do butcher this subscribe button. 90% of you who watched the content yesterday, yes, I still can't get my head around that 90% of everyone who watches this channel is not subscribed. So please go down, butcher this subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on every single transfer story we discuss. So make sure you watch the video the whole way through so you don't miss absolutely anything. I will be live later on tonight for the watch along for Aston Villa versus Spurs. God help us, because we're probably going to get battered, but it is what it is. I'm going to start with the Athletic updates coming out. We're going to start with Manchester City, and then we will move on to Arsenal, then Manchester United. There is a strong chance that Ederson leaves Manchester City this summer. Now, look, I think personally, this isn't anything surprising. I think Ederson has pretty much completed all he can at Manchester City. He still is quite young for a goalkeeper. Like, he's been around at City for a long time, and he's only 31. Like, I feel like he's been at Man City for like 10 years or so. Maybe not 10 years, but you get what I mean. Now, they have also got Ortega at Manchester City, but could they potentially bring in another goalkeeper? Like, I think Ederson is so unique. 4 assists this season in the Premier League, which is more than some midfielders, and he plays in goal. He's probably the best long passer of a football in world football. When you think of that 70, 80-yard diagonal pings, 70, 89-yard pings over the box to Haaland, or before when it was Aguero, or when it was Riyad Mahrez, he's absolutely ridiculous. Has missed a few Premier League games this season, through injury. But, I think he missed a game against Villa, Everton, Leicester, West Ham, Arsenal, Brighton, Everton and Palace, just to be precise, where Ortega has come in. But you know what? They have got a very good number 2. That number 2 last season was pretty much one of the reasons why they did win that league. That big save against Tottenham. But he's there 8 years. He's been at City 8 years. 2017 was when he signed his contract, and it does expire June 30th, 2026. It wouldn't surprise me if one of the Saudi clubs did come in for him. You could probably generate in this market 30 to 40 million pounds, knowing what they have paid for other players. So listen, that would be it'd be quite sad if you're a City fan, see him go, because he, of course, is the top goalkeeper, one of the best out there in Europe. But not everything lasts forever. Now, Mikel Arteta is a big fan of Rodrygo and has given the green light for Arsenal to sign him. Now, if anyone says, you're using a transfer source that isn't legit, isn't credible, doesn't have a history of getting things right, this is coming out from The Athletic, in which David Ornstein is the main transfer correspondent, journalist, whatever you want to call him, when it comes down to The Athletic. They are a very, very, very good source. However, an agreement is going to be difficult. That doesn't necessarily mean an agreement, a deal can't happen. Arsenal, for me, first, need to get Victor Gyökeres over the line. Now, according to ITKs, according to sources, that deal, according to the foreign media outlets, is a lot further down the line than people think. I honestly believe Zubimendi is done, dusted. Fabrizio Romano has already given the here we go. I do think we will get a here we go in Victor Gyökeres, maybe in the next calendar month, maybe as soon as that window opens. And I honestly believe a left winger will be the next option. Now, they are linked to Semenyo. They're linked to Joao Pedro. They're linked to Rodrigo. They're linked to Nico Williams. In terms of overall quality, Rodrigo's top, Nico Williams second, probably Brian Mbeumo, Semenyo, and then Joao Pedro. This guy is a game changer. Rodrigo, if he wants to leave Real Madrid, Arsenal have a history of signing players from Real Madrid, a.k.a. Mesut Ozil, a.k.a. Martin Odegaard. There's not a horrendous relationship there. What some people are already alluding to is if Rodrigo does sign, does that mean there's already a deal done for Saliba? Real Madrid have just or on the verge of signing a Dean Huijsen. We'll probably get a here we go over the weekend for that from Fabrizio Romano. But it looks like right now, at present, that Rodrigo is on the list of a number of football clubs. A number of clubs are after him. I honestly believe that Rodrigo, if you bring in Rodrigo in your career, they win the league. Like I look at what Arsenal want to do in terms of winning a Champions League, winning a Premier League. I still think they need a creative midfielder. I got a lot of stick for this on the Football Terrace yesterday. I look at the teams that Manchester City have won over the years with the creativity of Bernardo Silva, David Silva, De Bruyne, Sterling, Riyad Mahrez, top players, Gundogan, De Bruyne. Arsenal, from a creative perspective, their most creative player is Saka. Then you got Declan Rice and Odegaard. But I think they need one more in there. And if you bring in players like Rodrigo, building a system that's catered to scoring goals for the likes of Victor Gyökeres, they are going to absolutely destroy teams off the park. Now, Manchester United, Marcus Rashford can leave Manchester United for around £40 million this summer. But Aston Villa do not have first option on the England star. Marcus Rashford's an interesting one for me because there's no doubt he has got ability. There's no doubt he, when he wants to, can turn it on and be superb. There's absolutely no doubt. But it's getting the consistency out of him on a regular basis and his wages. He's on absolutely criminal money for the output. 2 goals in 14 appearances in the league and Champions League this season. According to FBref.com, he's on around £225,000 a week. I don't know who suggested that he's on 350. That is absolute nonsense. But 225K is a significant amount of money for teams like Aston Villa. He'd come in as their highest earner. Hypothetically, if he went to Chelsea, he'd be one of their highest earners. If he comes to Spurs, he'd be their highest earner. And look at his output. 6 goals in 25 appearances this season in the league. 1 goal in 6 in the Europa League. 0 in 4 in the Champions League. 5 assists in 34 games. Or 35 games, whatever it is. The output for me, they need like a player Villa. I do think Ollie Watkins may get a move this summer, but they need higher output if you're going to pay 225K a week. Now, the Telegraph have come out and spoken about Ange Postecoglou and said that Ange Postecoglou is in line to earn a bonus in the region of £2 million if he clinches Tottenham Hotspur their first European trophy for 41 years. Not only that, there is a lot of people coming out and suggesting that Ange Postecoglou will not be the Tottenham manager, regardless if he wins the Europa League. I can't explain to you how big it is for Tottenham to win this Europa League. If we don't, the short term of this football club for the next 1 to 3 years is going to be in absolute turmoil. It is going to be in turmoil. Let's get on to Joao Pedro. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea are all showing interest in Brighton forward Joao Pedro ahead of a possible summer transfer. I personally think he will end up at Chelsea. They've got a good relationship with Brighton. Levi Colwill, Graham Potter signed, Cucurella, Caicedo. I think this screams of a Chelsea signing. Now, Joao Pedro is a good player. Does he take Chelsea to the next level? I'm not so sure. 10 goals and 6 assists in 27 games is a very good return and better than his return last season. Last season, he got 9 goals and 3 assists in 31 games, but they get 6 goals and 6 in the Europa League. So he's got some European experience. 16 GA in 27 this season is, of course, very, very good. But Chelsea need a star signing. They're linked with Garnacho. They're linked with this player, with that player. I personally think that they need one or two more big signings. Like I look at what they've got in this team, and there's a lot of young players. There's a lot of raw, ability there. There's a lot of inexperience. They need more experienced players. If Chelsea went out and signed a top goalkeeper, a top centre back, and a top striker, I think that they're not far away from challenging for a league title. They've got Caicedo in there. They've got some top players. The Independent have come out and said Arsenal's search for a striker is focused and it's down to two men on the shortlist, and it is Victor Gyökeres or Benjamin Sesko. I personally think it will be Victor Gyökeres. Benjamin Sesko is, of course, a good player, a lot younger, but they need that killer instinct like a lot of teams need in and around the box. His goal ability is absolutely stupidly good. I can't explain to you how, good he is. I genuinely can't. He's absolutely stupidly good. It really, really is. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Who do you think will replace Ederson at Manchester City? Do you think it will be Ortega? Do you think Chelsea will sign Joao Pedro? Can Arsenal get Rodrygo over the line? Will it be Victor Gyökeres or Benjamin Sesko? There is so much to get through. The transfer window is only a few weeks away. And of course, Tottenham and Manchester United will play Chelsea tonight. So I will be live for a Tottenham live watch along against Aston Villa, in the fact that I absolutely hope and pray that we can actually do something good. Otherwise, it is going to be a painful one. But let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.